Hello and welcome back to the Claudinho F1 channel. Today I'm here with Broomhandle, Marine and Luke Flano to discuss next season's F1 2021 Championship. A bit of a predictions video. So, just to notice also, I've got my favourite car of all time, the 2004 Ferrari F2 004 in the background. Just I love that car to bits. Michael Schumacher's winning car, and yeah, so we'll just be discussing a little bit about just the constructors, the drivers' championship, and also we'll be talking about different kind of awards like improved driver, most improved constructor, also who will be the driver of the year, who will be the flop of the year, who will do extremely bad, who'll do extremely good. And also we'll be talking about the constructors, which constructor will do really well, which constructor will surprise people. So without further ado, we will get straight ahead into this. So we'll go on to the first topic, most improved driver. Now this is an interesting one because I personally think a lot of drivers last season improved, and going into this prediction I felt it was a very hard one to pick, but I decided to actually pick Lance Stroll as my most improved driver for 2021. Personally, I think he's not the paid driver that people see him as, and I think he's way more than that, and I think he will be very consistent this year in the new Aston Martin team, and yeah, basically I think he will be, I think maybe I could put this out here, but maybe he could get a race win, or maybe maybe a couple podiums. But yeah, I've decided to go for Lance Stroll's most improved driver. I'll hand it over to Marine now. Marine, we'll get on to your prediction. Most improved driver, who is it?
I went for Gasly. I don't know why.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, Gasly's a very good driver. Why'd you pick him?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I just think he will do very well this season. Well, next season.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we obviously know Pierre Gasly had an incredible 2020 season, winning the Grand Prix at Italy, incredible scenes, and I wonder if he can carry that momentum into next season. We'll wait and see, but we'll go on to Broomhandle's most improved driver prediction. Broom, so we've had Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly. Who do you have next?
Well, actually, I've gone for Sebastian Vettel.
Oh, interesting.
And that's very interesting actually. And I actually start doubting this kind of a bit, because Vettel's been on a very interesting roll of years, but he's come into a new team, a new style of life. And after the couple of seasons that he's had with Ferrari, I think the last two were very devastating for him. Not winning, I think he only won one Grand Prix in these two seasons. Finished outside the top 10 in last season, and I think he's going to come into Aston Martin as the team leader. I think he's going to really shine a lot. I think we're really going to see the Sebastian Vettel from the old days of that 2012, 2013 era of Red Bull. I think we're going to see that Sebastian Vettel come back, and so that's a bold prediction by myself, but I think Sebastian will do great in 2021.
Well, no, I actually have to agree.
That was my
with you
second
there.
choice.
Yeah, I actually
That was my second choice.
That was actually, I was quite tight between the both Aston Martin drivers, because personally, Sebastian Vettel had a terrible season last year in 2020, but he's coming into a new team, and we hope to see the old Sebastian Vettel in that Aston Martin car. It's a brand new team, so we'll wait and see what happens. But that's you're not the only one there, Broom, to predict. Well, I was going to predict it, but just Lance Stroll kind of edged ahead of me. But we'll go on to Luke's prediction. Most improved driver. Who is it, Luke?
I mean, I don't know if there's any point in saying it, because I did Vettel as well.
Oh, Vettel. Oh, yeah, he had a very bad season last year, but as you were saying, both of you boys have picked Sebastian Vettel. there's a lot of improvement and for him coming into this season, and you know, will he improve in this new car? Probably he will, because I think the Aston Martin, well, no spoilers here, but I think the Aston Martin's going to be faster than the Ferrari again this year, or Racing Point. But yeah, so we'll move on there from most improved driver, and we'll go on to most improved manufacturer or constructor. I was pretty much tied here with two teams, so I'm going to actually choose both teams for most improved constructor. And those two teams are AlphaTauri and Williams. Personally, I think AlphaTauri, what a season for them last year. You know, I have to mention again, Pierre Gasly winning the Italian Grand Prix. Kvyat, you know, he may be gone from F1, but during the last end of the season, you know, he was incredible. You know, just I don't know what it is about AlphaTauri, but I really just these last three years maybe, I've really rated their driver lineup, and you know, bringing in Yuki Tsunoda, you know, oh Jesus, you know, what a season, debut season in F2 for him, and I think they're going to go stride to stride here in 2021. The next team I actually picked was Williams. I expect them to pick up a couple of points this season. And, you know, they may have, you know, picked up the 0 points this season, but I think their rivals in Alfa Romeo and Haas have actually gotten slower, a bit slower than they were in 2020. Well, they've gotten a bit slower in general, but I think Williams will pick up a couple of points. So I know that's if they can do that, pick up points consistently, I think, you know, that's a massive improvement. So those are my two teams, AlphaTauri, Williams, most improved constructors, teams, whatever you want to call them, manufacturers. We'll go on to Marine next. What is your most improved constructor?
I pick Ferrari for this.
Okay.
I think they'll just do better. They had a really bad season after 19 with the engine fucking, what do you call them, regulations? I don't know how. Yep. But yeah, I just think they will do better this season. More time to prepare. Didn't they say they focus more on this season than the other season? I think they said something like that. Oh, no, they gave up on this season and the next season for the new regulations. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they do better with the lineups.
Alright, well, yeah, I do have to agree with you there in some certain aspects. You know, there's a lot of improvement for Ferrari coming into the season, and, you know, bringing in Carlos Sainz, you know, that's a solid driver to replace Vettel. But you know, as you were saying there, they're more focusing on this season than they were last season. Obviously, the new regulations were supposed to be coming in this year, I do believe, but they've been pushed back to 2022. But you know, Ferrari's a cracking choice also. So we'll move on to Broom next. Broom, what is your most improved manufacturer?
Well, honestly, actually, well, hearing you guys' predictions, I have a few teams that I think are really, really going to move the boundaries here. But if you don't mind, I'm actually going to say three teams. One is Williams, and I really think they're going to move up the table. I think Claude mentioned Williams will move up to probably further ahead of Alfa Romeo and Haas, so that's a short one. And the two teams that I had in mind here that are really going to move some boundaries is McLaren and Alpine. Now, McLaren, they had a cracker of a season, finishing third in the Constructors' Championship, but I feel like they're going to do even better this season. They're going to go for higher up. They're going to be challenging Red Bull at some races, and with Ricciardo coming into the team, I think they're really going to shine a bit. Alpine is the one that I put as my choice, though, and the reason why I've gone for Alpine F1 team is because Fernando Alonso is coming into that team, and we all know that Fernando is a very good driver at not just racing, but developing that car as well. And I think Alonso's going to come into that team and say, here's the parts that's wrong with the car, fix them. And I think Renault, or Alpine as we know them now, will really benefit from that, and I think they're really going to come off of that stronger with the results. So I think, oh, sorry, my Siri just activated for some reason, but I think Alpine will really benefit from the Alonso kind of coming in and developing that car better than the last season. So I think they're really going to do a great job with Fernando and Esteban Ocon, who got a podium as well. I think his experience is going to go up quite a bit from that. But we'll have to see how that works out.
Well, yeah, it was a very promising end of the season for Renault or Alpine. You know, Esteban Ocon getting a podium at the Sakir Grand Prix. You know, great scenes, and you know, Daniel Ricciardo. You know, is it question could be there? You know, to be put out, was it Ricciardo or is it the car in itself getting that podium, getting those 2 podiums this season? But Alpine's actually an interesting one. I personally lean away from them, you know, improving this season, but it's your opinion, so, you know, we'll have to see. Williams, yeah, we've already mentioned that, you know, we think they're going to improve. McLaren, you know, what you said there, they're going to be challenging Red Bull for some races this season, you know. I don't think I can disagree on that, because, you know, Mercedes engines, Daniel Ricciardo, you know, what can go wrong? Lando Norris also. But yeah, most improved constructor there for Broom is Alpine. We'll move on to Luke next. What's your most improved constructor, Luke?
I went for a bit of a different one that I don't think anyone else would have thought of. I said Red Bull.
Okay.
Because I think that they're going to properly close the gap to Mercedes this year and have, you know, more of a fight that they've ever had this year with Max and Perez.
I wanted to say that, but yeah, I chose Ferrari.
Well,
that was my second choice.
What I'm going to say here, lads, is that I partially disagree, but partially also agree, because I believe that Mercedes will have the fastest car. Will have the faster car than Red Bull this season. But in terms of their driver lineup, I think Red Bull have the better driver lineup, in my opinion. You know, I really don't think things are going to be looking good for Bottas in the future, but Red Bull's a decent shout, to be fair, and we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully the gap is a bit tighter between them and Mercedes. But move on to the next topic. I'm just wary of time here, because I know that the hour like mark, you know, time's out. I don't know how many minutes we've been chatting, but fiercest team rivalry. Actually, should we talk about that or not? I don't know. You know what? We'll move on from that. You know, we'll actually go on to, or if anybody wants to, you know, put an opinion on there on the fiercest team rival, they can do it now if they want. So, does anybody have an opinion on the fiercest team rival? I went for Leclerc and Sainz. Personally, I think
I literally
Sainz.
did the same thing.
Leclerc and
I did
Sainz.
the same thing.
I said Haas.
You said Haas. Okay.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Mazepin is such a, you know, aggressive guy that I don't think they're, you know, I think just like, I just think they're gonna like be in a lot of crashes together.
Well,
If that makes sense.
hopefully not. But moving on to the next topic, we'll try and get these 2 topics rushed through, just because I want to be wary of time. But flop of the year. Who's going to be, you know, the worst driver this season? My opinion, I think it's going to be Nikita Mazepin. Now, I don't know what to say about him. I don't think he's F1 quality, but the reason why he's in F1, in the famous words of that famous YouTube clip, Daddy's Cash, ain't no time for Ocon's ass, but Nikita Mazepin, I think he'll be the flop of the year. You know, he's already come in with a bad reputation. You know, he hasn't even stepped into the Haas seat yet, and he already made a bad reputation for himself. I don't know how long he's going to last in F1, to be fair to you. You know, Haas will, if he keeps making mistakes and keeps keeping up with the behaviour he's at right now, Haas will wake up. Haas will definitely wake up, and I think it's going to be a very dull season for Nikita Mazepin. So I've decided to choose Nikita Mazepin. We'll move on to Mariah next. Who do you think will be the flop of the year?
I went for Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, okay.
You said that it's like who has a high like expectation. Do you say it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he will do good.
All right then. We'll move on to Broom next. Broom, who's your flop of the year?
Now I've gone for something very interesting. I've gone for Mick Schumacher, who is a driver I think that will not do very good next season due to a few issues. He's one of my drivers that I see as a very talented upcoming driver. Of course, he's got that Schumacher name in Formula 1, but I think he's a little bit overrated on the side. I think he's going to come onto Haas and see it's not just... I think he's really going to struggle a little bit because we've heard very much rumors about the 2021 Haas car being a very difficult car to drive and not going to be the best season for them. I think Mick Schumacher's really going to struggle, and I really thought that he was going to come into this season as a driver to really fear to maybe take that Ferrari seat away from Carlos Sainz or Charles Leclerc, you know. But I think he's really going to struggle at Haas. I think he's really going to have to build his reputation back up, and we'll just have to see how that works out. But that's my pick.
All right then. Well, Luke, we'll move on to you next. Flop of the year. Who is it?
I said Fernando Alonso.
I was going to say it also. I had a tied between Nikita Mazepin and Fernando Alonso, but I'd like to hear your reasons there, Luke. Why do you think Fernando Alonso?
I just think, everyone's saying that, he's gonna... I don't think he's gonna come back and be, right up there. People are saying, yeah, he's gonna be a lot better than Ocon. I would agree with that. But, I don't know. I just think of that about when he was at McLaren and just, the way, the car was absolutely terrible. And he wasn't afraid to say it, and I just think that's going to affect Renault in a bad way, because if he thinks the car is shit, he's not going to hold back. And I just think that's going to affect the team in a negative way.
Alright then, well, personally I do agree with you there. I think he's not the same driver he was whenever he won those 2 world championships, and also I feel his kind of personality within the sport is very toxic. You were saying there he's not afraid to say anything, he'll say it straight to your face, and I think that can now obviously if it's in a constructive way, that he's trying to help out, but if he's just saying, oh, this is just a piece of crap, I'm not driving this, that's very discouraging for people and for the engineers back at the Alpine factory. So I would personally agree with you there, and I really think it's going to be a very dull season for Alonso. I think he will get a couple points this season, but besides that, I can't really shout about him anymore. We'll move on next to driver of the year. I'll start off with mine, and I'm not trying to be a fanboy here just because I'm a big fan of him, but I've decided to choose Daniel Ricciardo, and the reason why I've decided to choose Daniel Ricciardo is because I really think he's starting to come into his prime, and especially with this McLaren car. This McLaren car, what we're hearing, is going to be a very exciting car. And do I think McLaren have got the right driver to get the best out of this car? 100%. And I think we're actually going to see a couple of wins from Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren car this season. I really do think Daniel Ricciardo or Lando Norris could win a Grand Prix this season, or could get consecutively podiums. But Daniel Ricciardo is my driver of the year. We'll move on to Marine next. Marine, who's your driver of the year?
I literally had the same.
Daniel Ricciardo. All right then.
Yeah.
Any points you want to make, or?
Not really.
All right then. Well, we'll move on. He did a really good job in
Red Bull in a tough car, getting a couple of wins, a couple of podiums. I just think he will do good this season with the McLaren, especially with the Mercedes engine.
All right then. Well, we'll move on to Broom next. The driver of the year. Who's going to be your driver of the year?
I've gone for Carlos Sainz because I feel that he's going to do a great job at Ferrari. Comes into this season, I think he's really going to be doing good. We've heard some rumors that the Ferrari car is much better than next season, and just look at Charles Leclerc's pace. He was able to get a lot out of the Ferrari, challenging for top 4, challenging for podiums most of the entire season. Just imagine what Carlos Sainz is going to do, and hopefully if both of those drivers are that consistent, we may see them fighting for P3 in the Constructors' Championship.
Alright then, well Carlos Sainz is a driver who's very interesting. He's had a very interesting story, you know, starting off in the Red Bull Academy, moving on to, who was it? It was a Renault next? Then moving on to, was it Racing Point?
No, I don't believe he went to McLaren.
No, sorry, McLaren, Jesus Christ. I'm mixing him up with Esteban Ocon. Or that was the opposite direction, he went from Racing Point to Renault, but I think... yeah, Carlos Sainz is a very interesting story.
McLaren.
Yeah. Carlos Sainz is a very interesting driver, and I think he's, you know, improving every season. So, driver of the year, you know, as you were saying there, Brim, it's no surprise, in my opinion. You know, a top driver, in my opinion. And I would love to see him do well in the Ferrari. You know, I'm not going to... Actually, I won't give any spoilers away, but what I think will happen in the Ferrari for him next season. But we'll move on to Luke next. And Luke, who's your driver of the year?
Well, originally I went a bit boring. Originally I said Hamilton because I think he's gonna win the championship again. But I just changed mine, like just now. I changed mine and I went for Russell instead.
Okay.
I think that I can see maybe one of the Mercedes drivers.
Fanboy.
I'm a fanboy.
I think one of the Mercedes drivers, Hamilton or Bottas, could get COVID again. I think Russell could have another chance, and I think that he will get that chance, and I think he will deliver. I think he'll get.
Why did he win then, the noob?
Wow, I think that's a totally different topic.
Well, that's a video in itself, but Luke, continue on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just think he's going to get another chance in Mercedes and convert it to a win.
Alright then.
Also get points from Williams.
Well, I don't know how much time we have left for this 1 hour mark thing before the video starts, but we'll rush through the constructors real quick. 10 up the first, so last up the first. I'll start off, and I've said Haas. Personally, I just think, you know, what we've heard, just to keep it brief as possible, you know, they just don't have a fast car. So Haas is my number 10 pick, and personally I just think Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher will be very underwhelming this season as they are rookies, and Nikita Mazepin just will do Nikita Mazepin things, and yeah, number 10 will be Haas. We'll move on to Marine very quickly, so Marine, just be very brief with your answer.
I said Williams.
Alright,
They're just a shit team.
Alright then.
They all have George, but Nicholas Latifi is just going to do nothing.
Alright then.
He's going to sit there, just crash out every single fucking time.
Alright then, well, Luke, we'll move on to you next. Who do you think will be last in the constructors?
I said Haas too.
Alright then.
I don't know what else to say.
Bream, who is your number 10 on the constructors?
I hate to disappoint you guys too, but I also said Haas.
Okay, so the majority think Haas will be the slower car than the Williams. That is, you know, I don't think that's any surprise, to be fair.
Well, I mean, we've heard many rumors from, I think it was Gunter Steiner, the team principal, of course, saying that Haas car is, he just didn't, looking at his eyes, his expressions on his face, you could tell it's going to be another difficult season for Haas. So that's, I think, that's kind of the reasons why I think we've all predicted that.
Yeah.
Alright then, we'll move on to number 9 very quickly, and I've actually predicted Williams. Obviously that's probably no surprise, you know, like who else is going to be there, but I think Williams will get a couple of points this season. Personally, not from Latifi. I think, as Mariah was saying, I think he will crash out a lot just because Latifi doing Latifi things. He probably wants to get into the hot tub in the paddock, you know, just get an early nice little sauna massage in before, you know, he has to do blooming media debriefs. I don't know what I'm on about. I'm waffling as Diesel normally does, but yeah, I think Williams will get P9. Moving on to you, Ryan. Who do you think will get P9?
I put Haas there.
All right then.
I don't know. I just think they will get a couple of points, but yeah.
Alright then, well,
So like Germany, lucky points.
Broom, who do you think will get P9?
I've also said Williams, and I think Russell will be delivering most of those points. I don't think there's anything else to say about that.
Luke, who do you think will be P9?
Williams.
Alright then, we'll move on to P8 now, and I've predicted Alfa Romeo. Personally, it's a love-hate relationship for me for Alfa Romeo. Personally, I'm a fan of Antonio Giovinazzi. I think he's a good driver, but Kimi Raikkonen, I think he needs to retire as soon as possible. Obviously, he seems like a good character outside of the car, but his driving last season probably wasn't the best in my opinion, and that's the reason why I put them in P8. I think Giovinazzi will probably get the majority of points for Alfa Romeo this season, but besides that, it's going to be P8 for me. So we'll move on to Marine next. He will be P8.
I also said Alpha.
Alright then.
Just a decent duo.
There's two Alphas. So which
Alfa
one?
Romeo.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo.
Alright then,
I'm just joking around.
We'll move on to you, Broom. Next two will be P8.
I've also said Alfa Romeo. I think we all know why. They will be there. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, not the best pairing, and that car just doesn't look that fast, so I put the P8.
Luke, who will be P8 for you?
Alfa Romeo.
Alright then, well, I think we're all agreed on Alfa Romeo there, so that's, you know, something we all agree in, but P7 in Constructors, I've gone for an interesting one here, and I think it's going to be Alpine. I think they're going to be very underwhelming this season, in my opinion. I just do not like the look of that driver lineup, in my opinion. You know, they could have gone for a Christian Lundgaard, you know, Guan Yu Zhou, but you know they decided to go with the oldie and Fernando Alonso. You know, he does bring experience, but you know, as I was saying, he's quite a toxic guy. You know, personally, I don't like toxic guys. You know, I like to keep good vibes around me, but you know, if Renault want toxic people around their garage, all right, you know, fair enough. Esteban Ocon. You know, he had a very good, he had a up and down season last season. You know, obviously the highlight in him getting a podium, but I just don't really rate him in my opinion. I've never really rated him, but I think Alpine will be P7. We'll move on to you, Marine. He will be P7.
I said AlphaTauri. I don't know. Yeah.
All right then. Well, we'll move on to Broom next. He will be P7.
I've also done AlphaTauri. I just feel like I think there's nothing really else to say. I've just gone for them.
Alright then. Well, Luke, final position for P7? Or final person?
I said AlphaTauri as well. I was just putting in every other team, and I just couldn't find anywhere else to put them. So I put them P7.
Alright then. Well, we'll move on to P6 very quickly. I've gone for AlphaTauri. I think, you know, overtaking someone like Renault this season, if they do it, like, that's just huge confidence in my opinion. You know, I think they have a better driver lineup than Alpine this season, but I predicted AlphaTauri in P6. So Marine, who's P6 for you?
I went for Alpine Racing. I don't know. I just think they have a better car than the AlphaTauri.
Alright then. Well, Broom, who will be P6 for you?
I've also gone for Alpine. I just feel like they're going to be really close to Aston Martin, Ferrari. I feel like they're going to be closer to them, kind of how they were in this season, but I don't think they're going to improve that much as the rest of the teams.
Alright then. Well, Luke, we'll get your opinion on it now. So who will be P6?
Yeah, I said Renault. Or sorry, Alpine. Yeah, same as AlphaTauri, just that's just where they fit in for my list.
All right then. Well, it seems I've been a bit outnumbered here, and 3-1. But we'll move on to P5. I predicted Aston Martin. I think it's a very hard one. I think I was kind of looking back and forth between Aston Martin and Ferrari for this position, but I've decided to pick Aston Martin. I just don't know. Do you guys know if they have the same resources from, the Racing Point, or is this just a entirely new team?
No, they're still still the same shit.
It's basically just Racing Point, a different.
It's basically just say Racing Point, the same people. Literally everything.
Well, anyway, I think Ferrari have a better driver lineup, and I think the Ferrari will be way much faster than last season. So I've decided to go for Aston Martin in P5. Ryan, we'll move on to you next very quickly. It will be P5.
I went for Ferrari. With the driver lineup they have, they'll score a lot of points, but not more than Aston Martin with the car Aston Martin have.
Alright then, well, we'll move on to Broom. Who do you think will be in P5?
I've also gone for Ferrari. I've actually changed my mind kind of recently. I know it's probably not something to do, but I think Aston Martin and Ferrari are going to be really close, and that's only due to the lineup that Ferrari have. If it was Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel, I do not think that would be the case. I think Ferrari would be extremely down in P5, but I put them P5, same as Marine, and I think Aston Martin, like Marine, will be faster than that Ferrari.
Alright then, Luke, final prediction for P5, who do you think will be?
Yeah, I also said Ferrari.
Alright then, well, it looks like I've been outnumbered again, 3-1. Alright, well, it seems like I'm not. If this could either work very badly for me at the end of the season, or very good.
You should make a point tally.
We should.
We should go back on this.
We should probably do another video at the end of the season and review our predictions. But we'll move on to position 4 very quickly. I said Ferrari. I just think driver lineup, and I think their car will just be. I don't think their car will be quicker than Aston Martin's, but I just think the driver lineup will get them over the edge, in my opinion, if that makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. P4 I think will be Ferrari. We'll move on to Ryan next. Who do you think will be P4?
Aston Martin Racing. I don't know. They were really close to McLaren this season. So, yeah, I just put them P4.
Alright, we'll move on to you next, Bream.
For P4, I've also put Aston Martin. I just feel like they're going to do the same thing they've done last season. Be really close to McLaren's, Red Bulls, but I think with the driver lineup, they're not going to be able to get there.
And finally, Luke.
I said McLaren. I think.
Wow!
I just think that Vettel going to Aston Martin is going to help them jump back over McLaren this season.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know what to make of that, but okay. Well, we'll move on to the next P3, and I've gone for McLaren. I think they'll be in P3 again from last season, but I think they'll be closer to Red Bull and Mercedes, or Red Bull, probably not Mercedes, but yeah, I think it'll be another good season for McLaren, so P3 McLaren. Marine, who's your P3?
I also chose McLaren. I think they still be close to the midfield with Aston Martin and Ferrari. I think the gap with Red Bull is not massive, but it's still pretty big. Yeah.
All right.
That's just what I wanted to add.
Who do you think will be P3?
I've also done McLaren, and like Claude, I've done the exact same thing. Felt like they're going to be closer to Red Bull than last season, and I think it's actually going to be probably McLaren, probably about I'd say about 50 points down from Red Bull. Honestly, I think that's kind of how that's going to work. I think it's going to be a very tight top 3.
All right then. Well, we'll move on to P2 very quickly. I've gone for Red Bull.
I think you fully ignored Luke.
Oh, sorry, Luke. Luke. Who do you think will be P3? Sorry, I wasn't offended by your comments by putting McLaren fourth in the constructors, but go ahead with your P3.
Wait, What position? P3?
P3.
I said Aston Martin.
Alright then. Any reasoning? Oh, you said it. You said it with the McLaren
Yeah,
picture.
Okay, said it.
Yeah, okay. P2, I said Red Bull. I think. Am I alright in saying everybody predicted that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. I said
What?
Williams.
You said Mercedes.
No,
I said Williams.
You said Williams. Well, Williams and
Absolutely,
Mercedes.
yeah. Williams will do a great job. Go ahead and they'll
Yeah.
use all those Mercedes parts that they have.
Horse, definitely.
Yeah, you know what will happen, guys. You know, once the Bahrain, the night before the Bahrain Grand Prix, you know, Williams will rob, you know, the Mercedes garage and, you know, take all the Mercedes part, put it on their car, you know, win the rest of the season, you know. But yeah. All right, Luke, who's actually your P2?
Aston Martin. Oh, sorry, Red Bull.
All right, yeah, okay, and Mercedes, they're probably, yeah, everybody's agreed with Mercedes. I don't know how much time we have left for the hour mark thing, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go very quickly, maybe like 5 minutes on this Drivers' Championship. We're going to do a one-word reaction to everybody's, like, prediction going up from 20 to 1st. So I want everybody to give a one-word reaction. Or actually, why don't we all shout out our driver?
That'll be chaos.
Wait.
All right.
I think it's best what we do is we first start off with one person. They say they're 20 drivers, and then we go through there to make it quicker.
I'll tell you what, we'll just do what we were
No,
doing
just go
there in
one by one.
construct- yeah, alright.
Just go one by one.
Alright, well,
Just go
we'll go
one
with
by one.
P20. I've said Nikita Mazepin.
I said Latifi.
Latifi as well.
Latifi.
Alright then, well. Alright then, I've been outnumbered again, but number 19, I've gone with Latifi. I just think Mazepin and Latifi will just do nothing. Who do you think, Moran?
I was not quite sure. I've gone for Mazepin or Fittipaldi. I don't know if Mazepin is going to do something stupid again and just get kicked out. So I said
Alright,
Mazepin or Fittipaldi.
Broom, who do you
Mazepin
think?
as well.
Mazepin?
Mazepin
Luke?
as well. Yep.
Luke?
Mazepin.
Alright then, well P18 I've gone for Mick Schumacher. Anybody else? Moran?
Same.
Same. Schumacher.
Yep.
Raikkonen for me.
Alright then, well P17
Okay, then.
I've gone for Kimi Raikkonen. Moran, who have you gone for?
I've gone for Russell.
Okay, wow. Bit low down than I expected, but
He will
okay.
get points, but he just, yeah,
Alright then,
just the
well
car's
Brim,
not good enough.
Raikkonen as well.
Raikkonen. Luke.
I said Mick Schumacher.
Alright then, well P16 for me will be George Russell. Moran, who will be your P16?
Giovinazzi.
Alright then, Brim, who do you think will be P16?
The same. Giovinazzi.
Alright then, Luke.
16. Yeah, Giovinazzi for me.
Alright then, well P15 for me is Giovinazzi. Moran, who's your P15?
I went for Kimi.
Alright then, Brim, who did you go for?
I went for Russell.
Alright then, and Luke, who did you go for P15?
I also said Russell.
Alright then, well P14, I decided to
That
go with
high?
Esteban Ocon.
I went exactly the same.
Who did you go for, Luke? Or, yeah, Luke.
P14.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sonoda for me.
Oh,
I did
okay.
Tsunoda as well.
Alright then. P13, I've decided to go with Fernando Alonso. Who have you gone for, Moran?
I went for Yuki.
Broom, who did you go for?
I went for Esteban Ocon.
Okay. Luke, who did you go for?
Yeah, I said Ocon too.
Alright then. P12, I've gone for Yuki Tsunoda. Who have you gone for, Moran?
I went for Alonso.
Okay. Broom, who have you gone for?
I've gone for Lance Stroll.
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, okay. Sorry, I'm not offended by your opinion, but
Yeah, no
But,
worries, no worries.
Luke, who do you predict? P11? Oh no, sorry,
I said
P12.
Sainz. Sainz for me.
Science, P12.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Okay, okay. I think that's a bit a bit out there, but okay. You know, this is a prediction video. Anything can happen. Anybody can say anything. You know, Roman Grosjean could, you know, blooming, I don't know, blooming come back into that.
What?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on from there. We'll go
Got
through.
very different. This video's got very different.
Did we do P12? Did we do P12? No, we didn't.
I think
no,
we did. Yeah, we're
yeah,
on
P11
now.
Yeah, we're
Pierre
11
Gasly,
now,
I've
right?
decided to go for. Who have you gone for?
And Gasly too.
Broom?
Alonso.
Luke.
Leclerc.
The Ferraris on your list are so down low.
What?
I'm not just finding that.
Yeah, where would you put it then? I'm putting him 10th. The car's
Alright.
just shit.
Alright then, well we'll
Yeah.
move on to P10, our top 10.
It's not like
It's my most improved driver, Lance Stroll. I think Lance Stroll will be P10. Brian, who do you think will be
Well, how
P10?
is that most improved in? Because that's lower than he was.
Really? Oh shit. Never mind.
And he should be flopping the year.
Brian, who do you think will be P10?
Oh yeah, Leclerc.
Broom.
Yeah.
I've gone for Gasly.
Okay, and Luke, final P10 prediction.
I said Gasly too.
Alright then. P9, I've decided to go for Sebastian Vettel.
What?
Ryan?
Nah, man.
I went for sides. What the fuck is this guy on? This guy's a crank. What the fuck?
I've also gone for Sebastian Vettel.
I'm not alone. I'm
What
not
the
alone.
fuck? What the? Oh my
Luke, who have you
god.
gone through?
I said Alonso.
What?
I said Sainz.
No. Alright.
This is wow. Okay, this has got
I said Sainz.
Okay, P8 for me is Charles Leclerc. I just think it'd be mediocre. Marine, who do you think will be P8?
I went for Stroll.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Brim, who do you think will be P8?
I've gone for Carlos Sainz.
Alright, and Luke?
I said Stroll.
Alright then. Well, P7, I've decided to go for my boy, Lando Norris. Hope you get better from COVID, mate. Love you to bits. Yeah, okay. P7,
Yeah,
Lando
go fanboy more, mate.
Norris. Brian, who
Yeah,
have you
I
gone
also
for?
went for Norris. I also went for Norris.
Brim?
Same. Norris
Luke?
as well.
What position?
P7.
Seven.
P8. I'll be 7 Norris, yeah.
Okay, we've all agreed on
Oh,
there.
Norris, okay.
P6, I think, will be Carlos Sainz.
That
Brian,
high in a Ferrari?
Oh, man.
Brian, who do you think will be
It's
it?
gonna be a dog.
Brian,
Yeah, it's going to be so shit.
Brian.
I went for Daniel.
What? Okay,
Yeah, you want me to put him top 5? What
No.
the?
Luke?
I said. Oh shit! I think I'm wrong though. Okay, I said Perez, but I think I might. I don't know.
What?
Brim?
It should be higher.
Charles Leclerc.
Okay, that's
No,
interesting.
what? This is turning into a try not to laugh challenge. What the fuck is going on?
Faster. The Ferraris will be
P5.
faster.
Yeah,
Charles
but
Leclerc
not
will be
that high.
P5, P5,
Terrible.
P5, I decided to go for Sergio Perez.
I went for
Brian?
Vettel.
What? Okay, that's very high in my opinion.
No, he's a great driver and that car is amazing.
It's great.
Broom, who do you think will be P5?
I've gone for Sergio Perez as well.
Alright, Luke?
I said Ricardo.
Okay, P4, I decided
What?
to go with Ricardo. Who do you think will be
What the
P4?
fuck? I went for Bottas.
Broom?
I went for Bottas as well.
Luke?
I said Bottas as well.
Okay.
Whoa.
P3, I've decided to go with Valtteri Bottas. P3, who do you think will be it? Marine?
Perez.
Ah.
To be fair, he's a class driver in my opinion. Luke?
I said Vettel.
What?
My ears, man. Like.
Alright, Broom?
Yeah.
It's a shocker. Ricardo.
Yes, that's what I like to see. I think-
You're smoking something. Holy fuck. That high in a McLaren.
3-2.
McLaren has that fast. They will. It's gonna be my prediction
Higher,
is that
higher
it'll be a
than
super-
Mercedes. What the fuck?
Super tight championship
Higher than
in third place,
Mercedes.
and it'll be Ricardo and P3 narrowly ahead of Bottas.
So
Okay,
I should just
P2,
put Mercedes
P2.
fourth next time.
P2. I've decided to go with Verstappen. He decided to go for
I think we
Ryan.
all agree.
Sadly, I chose that too.
Luke?
Sadly.
I said Kevin Magnussen.
Yes! I've decided to go for, who was it? Mahavir Raghunauthan from P2. Or Sean Gallo.
That guy is so shit, holy fuck.
I said
KFC!
Max.
Alright then, well I think we all agreed that Lewis Hamilton will be P1. So I don't really know what else to say for this
Sadly, yes.
season.
Not exactly.
Car.
Wait, what? Wait, what have you said, bro?
I said not exactly. I said Sir wins a lot, Mr. Hamilton. So it is a different name, but it is Hamilton.
Alright then, well...
He wouldn't do that in the Williams though.
Alright then, well I don't know where to... I think we'll end this video from here. This got a bit hectic at the end, but I'll put everybody's channel in the link in the description once I get the chance to do it. And
Yeah, you better
make sure to
do
go,
it right.
make sure to sub to
better
everybody's
do.
channel, and we'll see you for the next one. So goodbye, and God bless, and enjoy your day.